All right. So we are back. We are back. Ari, myself, and we have three guests in studio, but two are going to be talking. All right. So at this time, we're going to have an interview with Dr. Carlisle Goddard, District Governor, 60B, and Cornelia Moses, Zone Chair, C3, Zone 3C.
Yeah.
And they're representing the Lions movement. All right. So good morning, Dr. Goddard, our district governor, and good morning, Cornelia. I could call you Cornelia. All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And welcome to you, Dr. Goddard.
Thank you so very much.
Am I to interpret that or to assume that you're Bajan?
100%.
All right. So welcome to Vinci, and Lion Jr. is in the back. And I still say Lion because I don't know if you know, but I was once part of the Leo Club St. Vincent a few years ago. And the Leo Club is a movement, a community-based organization that I hold very dear to my heart. Unfortunately, I didn't transition into the Lions Club. Not as yet, but I am so happy to have you guys in studio here with us. So, of course, first thing up, what is the Lions movement all about?
Lions Club International is a community-based organization formed by a businessman back in Chicago way back in 1917. But over the years, it's transcended all across all the islands and territories of the world, where a simple motto of "we serve" represents exactly what we do. We serve those who are less fortunate. We seek out the homeless. We seek out those who are blind or visually impaired. We seek out those who have diabetes, childhood cancer, environmental disorders that we can all assist. So in fact, we take the world as a global environment where people who just want to give back something can give back up the time and the energy to make the world a better place.
All right. And Cornelia, tell us a bit about the Lions movement here in SVG.
Okay, thank you very much, Roleza. Let me just take an opportunity to shout out the Lions and Leos of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So the movement is very active in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Currently, there are 4 clubs. There are 3 Lion clubs and 1 Leo club. Lions Club of Kingston, Lions Club St. Vincent South, Lions Club of Union Island, and Leo Club St. Vincent. It's very active. The involvement consists of services with respect to youth, the secondary schools public speaking competition. That is a key activity on our calendar. And so that is important. Environmental projects, our tree planting project, vision. The Kingston Club is very big on that in terms of vision, and also hunger, very important. So we are really pleased with the way the movement has been evolving in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
All right. And could you give us a bit of a history with regards to the Lions movement here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines?
Well, currently the movement is celebrating, we're in our 60th anniversary. So Lionism first started in 1964.
Okay. And Dr. Goddard, could you tell us a bit, given that you are district governor, from your end, what does the district governor do?
Well,
Sounds so official.
Well, the district governor is just like a CEO. I manage 16 territories, and the Lions Club of in 60B, Subdistrict 60B, covers islands from Anguilla in the north all the way down to Barbados in the southeast. So all the countries in between there, the English-speaking country plus the Dutch-speaking countries, are Lions Club members of 60B. So I have to visit each and every one of those clubs to make sure that they follow the tenets of what the international president has asked of us, plus my own mandate as to what we can do to make this year a better year. But for me, it's more a joy just to go and see Lions in action, serving in the diverse parts of the world. We read reports, we see pictures, but sometimes when you touch the ground, walk the yard, and actually experience what those Lions are experiencing, the transition is just so different. And it translates into just a big moment of we serve. And there's no other pride bigger than that, than just seeing our yellow vests in communities just working.
All right. And I know whenever there's the announcement of district governor coming, everybody's so anticipated about their arrival. Everybody's trying to get everything in order, your finances in order, everything, in order. So how has it been? How long is your visit here actually?
My visit is really 3 days. I'm on my second leg now, second day.
Mhm.
And last night we had such good fun with St. Vincent South SVG Club. And it was really good just seeing a full turnout. And to be honest, that club really represents the second youngest club in across the district. And I say that because we're facing a problem in Lens where membership or aging membership is a problem or perceived problem because if we're aging out and we're not getting young people coming in as fast as we age out, then we're going to die. And for a movement of over 100 years, we just can't die, just not just like that. So seeing SVG Club last night with such young people, young talent, but who are so spirited, ready to be called upon to make changes in our community, it just was breathtaking. And to just engage with them and act with them, seeing the livelihood of Lions and the movement really was a good movement for me. So being here, I'm very enlightened to be here. I love the hospitality. I love the rain. It just gives me a chance to relax. Short but sweet, huh? But it's really good just being here.
Okay. All right. So Cornelia, district governor spoke on the matter of membership, right? From your standpoint as zone chair, and zone chair, you are zone for what countries again?
Right.
It's
So I have responsibilities for clubs in St. Vincent and Grenadines and Grenada.
right. And from your vantage point, what is the health like in terms of the volunteerism, in terms of the population of these clubs? Is it healthy in your opinion?
Okay, so in terms of the membership in both countries, there's a total membership of 251 overall. I must say that in terms of the club health, it is at a stage where the active participation of members could be enhanced. Members have been complaining about burnt out, and there are different competing activities which affects, their commitment. But nonetheless, the core group, they are working to, to ensure that the movement stays ahead. Our district governor met with Kingston Club last evening. And of course, the challenges were noted and identified. And he provided strategies of how clubs can improve in terms of the health, like meeting financial obligations as well. That is a concern. But there are solutions that have been put in place so that we can work around this.
All right. So speaking from the vantage point of being a former Leo, I can understand that situation of burnout, right? But for those who are listening, because community-based organizations such as the Lions Movement, and this includes the Leos as well, they are based on volunteerism, right? Nobody gets paid to do anything within these clubs. Everything you have to make a willful decision to take part in these organizations such as these, right? But one of the questions that I guess somebody can be asking is, how do you even become a member of the Lions Movement? Is it by invitation, or can I approach a member and say that I have an interest? How exactly? Because if you're looking to get more persons involved, how do they know to become involved in the movement? All right, District Governor.
Well, so a very good question. So by tradition, Lions Club membership is given by invitation, but more so, we are community based. So we look for persons who are interested in serving. So if you have an interest in service, approach any one of us and say, "Hey, what do you guys do? Can I be involved? Because I see you're part of the community." So having expressed that, that tells us you have a willingness to be a part of the community and giving back. So we invite you to come and join us with a project. Because doing projects, we see you get a chance to see what we really do and actually put your hand to the plow. It's not simply writing a donation or giving a contribution. It's actually going into the community, identifying the need, and actually physically being part of that community to fix it. If you can be embrace that and embrace the situation which people live in, which people exist in, and we say, that's a good character. Good. And having done a couple of those, we then invite you to our meeting because that's the second part of our livelihood, our meetings. That's where we strategically come together to say what we're going to do next. That's where we work to find funds to do the next project. That's where we work the ideas to build brotherhood and networking so we can just continue doing the work. Because as you correctly identified, we volunteer of our time, our talent, and of our purses. So you have to give, and we're giving quite a bit. So if the person now can meet and those standards, then you fulfill what our basic criteria is to become part of us. And we invite you to go through the process of orientation. Because in orientation, we need to tell you exactly what you're up against. We need to teach you about Lionism, our history, our protocols, our membership growth, our leadership strategies, and give you soft features of lifehood. And once you learn those and you can embrace those and say, yes, I'm now ready to become a member of the Lion. And then we induct you into our great and big and noble organization, which we'll pull you back into shortly.
All right. So Cornelia, from your vantage point, I'm not sure you were never a Leo transition. You were straight lion. All right. So even though from your vantage point, right, for a young person, because as the district governor said, there really are, it's encouraged that the transition should happen from Leo to Lions, right? Some persons go directly to Lions and some people became Leos only, right? But what are some of the soft skills that a person, let's say a younger person, if they join the Leo or Lions movement, what are some of the soft skills that they can learn from becoming a part of the organization?
Right. So some of the soft skills would include communication, empathy, because empathy is very important. In terms of leadership, project management skills, those are soft skills that a person can benefit from.
All right, could I also add patience?
And patience.
And if I
Yes.
can jump in here, public speaking, that's one of the big things. A lot of young people say, oh, we're shy. And with this new generation, is people are confined to the screens and to tech shops. And when you get into an environment where you have both sexes sitting there in a room, like I've been to a dance with my niece, and the men are on one side, the girls on one side, there's no cross interaction. Public speaking to Leos allow you to get up, be bold, and say, may I have this dance? Or I am Leo Carlisle, you are, and have a conversation. So it takes you from your comfort zone into an uncomfortable situation, which we teach you how to swim, how to manage those waters. That's one. But it also embraces the spirit of saying sometimes you need to take lead and take charge of a situation. And life will throw you many buckets and stones, and you have to be able to manage those. So being a Leo where you're exposed now on a wider platform of just life in general, it teaches you those skills to survive. A lot of us have been sheltered because I think parenting has shifted so far to the right that we've forgotten some of the dangers on the left that we learned to survive as youngsters. But because we're so protected, being out in the community now, you're seeing community in its raw sense, not the protective vision that your family may have shielded you. So now being out with persons who can protect you, manage you, they learn you how to navigate life now on a wider context. So life in action is what Leo's. Leo stands for leadership, excellence, and opportunity. By being a part of a land, we provide you a life visual feed of what life can be like, how to maneuver it, and how to get stronger to make it better.
Okay. All right. And in terms of, let's say, so Cornelia would have spoken about some of the bigger projects that the Lions and Leos are involved in locally. From your vantage point, though, within the region or within your, under your, what's the word? Under your district. What are some of the other projects that you've seen that are notable that are being done by the other clubs?
I don't want to pick clubs at random, but
well, you know how to call it them, just a project.
to use big categories, I think a lot of Lions this year have focused on cancer and cancer awareness right across the region. The amount of outpour of love and support for breast cancer this year, it was phenomenal. We had clubs in St. Kitts doing phenomenal things. We had marches in Barbados and big flags. There was so much outpouring of love and support for breast. And then people just didn't stop at breast cancer. Prostate cancer was highlighted. And coming after breast cancer month is always diabetes. Those two run together. October and November. The outpouring again of lights, all the blue buildings, all the buildings were lit with blue lights and so on. You had marches, you had testing. We had a global village in Barbados, for instance, where people created a community where as you walk through, you entered every aspect of life a person living with diabetes may encounter. You had a dentist, you had the herbalist, you had the pharmacist, you had the podiatrist, you had a doctor, you had general people just testing blood sugars and teaching people awareness of the symptoms and signs of diabetes. I mean, those things are so endearing to know that you can take a lay person off the street, empower them with what a doctor or healthcare provider would look for diabetes, and just teaching the lay person what to look for. And when people walk into a village and say, we can actually look after diabetes because we take you as a family member, it takes you back to that old time village where every parent was your parent. You know, you're not
Mm-hmm.
just your own mother and sister. So when we look at diabetes as a global illness, everyone has a part to play. So those are two very big things. And then coming into December with all the celebrations of Christmas, every individual Lions Club celebrated Christmas with a homeless person, with a children's home, or they gathered children across their own community and said, come meet on this pastor. We can provide music, laughter, food, and fellowship. And that's basic. Because for me, that takes us back to the almost the Ubuntu's philosophy, I am because we are, which is also my theme, because it says we look at the world as a global village where we all have something to do and say. I am not who I am before the support of my elders and those who came before me. My vision is shaped by those who push me to where I am. So I've taken a little piece from everyone who I've encountered. So the Lions family are now doing that because we've been shaped by our environments, but we're not staying selfish with it. We're pushing forward to infect persons with love, care, and just saying we need to shift our view from myself to we. We are a village, we are a people, we are one. And that's what we've been doing collectively across the district. And I'm just loving it.
Okay. All right. Like they call it Leo La Cornelia. Lion Cornelia. All right. So what for you? So one of the things that I note from being a Leo is that apart from the soft skills, apart from um engaging in various activities. And one of the interesting things that the district governor pointed out was that whole thing of empathy, where I think sometimes that being in part of the Leo Club allowed me to see certain things that I would not normally see otherwise. Because as he said, I probably grew up a little bit sheltered. In terms of when you go on certain projects, you see how people live, right? You see the conditions under which they're surviving. You see the fact that they need a lot of assistance, right? Um, how in some cases, and let's talk about in a local context, how are some of the projects decided on?
So what we do, we have community needs assessment at first to find out, what are the needs of the communities, and then the work programs are developed around those needs. I remembered when I was president of our club, we received a communication from a challenge member, a challenge resident in our community needing help. And it was very frustrating for him. The correspondence was not dealt with by the relevant authorities, and our club was able to step in and engage the relevant authorities to ensure that the residents' housing accommodation is more comfortable. So we were quite pleased with that. So it is really based on the needs. Projects are not designed willy-nilly. We look at the needs and then we work around that.
All right. And just one of the other things I could probably add here as well too is the fact that the networking that you have, not just in a local context, but also regionally, right? There are times when I still am in contact with several Leos or Lions regionally. So you're not necessarily saying that you're going to look at it from a selfish standpoint in terms of what you can get out of it. But one of the other aspects is that apart from the soft skills garnered, you also in a sense can't find yourself stranded in any country that you've probably interacted with persons from.
I'm a testament of that. I mean, once a Leo, always a Leo. And I remember many times traveling. One story I always give, I was going to St. Lucia to go to the government house to attend a function and also do some Leo things. Traveled by classic Liak in those days. I'm traveling from Barbados still yet to St. Lucia next door. one carry on. You get to the bike, oh, you carry on, can't go on to the target. So I get in the plane comfortable saying, oh, it's just next door. I get to St. Lucia and I always travel in t-shirt and jeans. I'm going to the government house right away. I get to St. Lucia, my bag is in Barbados. So I'm at the airport stranded. I have on my lens, and who's at the counter? A fellow Leo. So he takes me to his house. He dressed me like Michael Jackson with his three-quarter short pants, short sleeve shirt, and so I'm really mismatched, but I'm dressed for the function. So off we go to the government house, and we had a laugh and a blast.
Okay.
I end up stranded one day in Glasgow trying to find my hotel, and I'm spinning in circles. I'm very geographically challenged. I can't read a map to save my life. So the map said, get up the train station, go to the right, 2 blocks is there your hotel. I get out the train, I go to the right, I walk 14 blocks and still can't find the hotel. And when I look to my left, the hotel is literally sitting on the left. So I had to come out and turn left. There was a hotel. But there in the middle of the road was a line. I said, where are you going? And he recognized my Lions tag. He said, no, here's my hotel. I'm right over here. You can stay here as long as you like. Free food, drinks, everything. And I had 10 days of vacation, so to speak, before spending a cent. So, you know, our logo represents who we are as a brotherhood and a fraternity. Once you wear that, you go anywhere in the world, someone will see you, respect you, who you are, and welcome you openly in their house with no exchange of currency or anything. That's just the brotherhood we live.
Okay.
But to go back to the earlier point, if I can, you know, when you mentioned about what we do, what we serve, sometimes I've been on projects where we go to serve hampers, usually around Christmas time or Easter time. And you go to some person's house, you take a hamper, and you can see them walk through the house and go to their cupboards. And when they open that cupboard, it's completely bare. And here you are coming saying, oh, I'm just making a contribution of some tin foods or ham or some rice, to know that you actually put something in that person's cupboard to last them a couple of days. And, you know, that alone is a powerful statement because it makes you feel so well empowered that you have done something good for the day.
Okay. All right. So unfortunately, we have to wrap up our interview with you, but I will allow you to just leave some final thoughts, maybe Cornelia from your end, on volunteerism and in terms of persons becoming a part of the movement. And then District Governor, you could probably say something to wrap it up completely.
Okay, so I would just end by encouraging our Vincentian public to support Lionism. We are here, we are serving, it's voluntary. And in order for us to better and enhance the development of our lions, sorry,
I heard that.
it's volunteerism as well. In order to, develop our country, it's important that we give back. You know, giving back is very important, and I would encourage persons to give back where they could. And of course, with respect to Lionism, I would encourage persons to be a part of the movement. It's a noble one.
And I write right on the back of that. Lionism is local in St. Vincent, is regional across the entire Caribbean, but we're also international. We touch every sphere of the world. And so I've encouraged all persons living in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, not just Vincentians, all persons, because you have the facilities to give back something. Every little bit that you can give back because it will come back to you equally in time. So there's always someone less fortunate than you. So never miss a chance to give back. And that means look at your family structure, saying to your younger persons, go join a Lions Club, go join a Leo Club, because you will learn something from them, but you also can give them back something that makes that movement stronger over time. So don't be frightened. Don't be afraid of giving back. Come join us. We will show you the way and teach you how to survive life by just simply embracing your fellow man and woman in this life. Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you, Dr. Goddard, District Governor 60B, and Lion Cornelia, Zone Chair, for being here with us today.
Thank you so much.
And enjoy
it was
the
a
rest.
pleasure.
Thanks for being here. Okay. Take care, everyone.